Okay, so today we're going to be showing how to wallpaper an arch. Now, arches, we don't come across arches that often anymore here in Australia, but it is possible that you will come across an opportunity where you need to wallpaper the arch. So we're going to show you step by step the procedure to do it. The first thing to notice is that obviously we need to make sure that it's primed and sealed, because if we don't prime or seal it, we're going to have difficulties with adhesion later on. So let's do that now. The first step is to get a plumb line, because if we don't get the plumb line, it's not going to be straight. So you've got to get a plumb line, and then we can hang the first piece hanging over the arch. Okay, so the next step is we're going to cut into the recess 10 millimeters. So I'm just cutting 10 millimeters to wrap around the edge of the recess of the archway. So once I get to the part of the arch where it's straight, I can basically wrap this part around the arch. So I'm going to cut a straight line for this part of the arch. Treat this like a normal external corner and wrap it around. We now have the starting point for the other side of the wall. Now we're cutting relief cuts into the edge of the arch so that we can bend around into the recess of the arch. So by cutting the recess, we can now bend the paper around the arch. So here we've matched the pattern, and now we're going to do a splice cut, an invisible join, so on the other side, so that we can continue the pattern on the other side. So the invisible join means that we overlap the paper and then cut through the middle. It's magic.
It's magic. Look at that.
So now we're matching the pattern up on the other side so that we get a pattern match on both sides of the arch. Now, no matter how well you plan it, there's always going to be a spot where you're not going to be able to match the pattern perfectly. So it's a matter of thinking about where can you disguise that as best you can. And so oftentimes that's up here where it's far less noticeable than down here where people are going to be looking all the time. So think about where can you hide the fact that the pattern is going to overlap, which is bound to happen at some stage. Okay, so the hardest bit of the arch is actually this section here, because obviously we can't start from the bottom and go across, because otherwise the pattern will end up upside down on the other side. So what we've got to do is basically, there'll be a join here, that's where the join will be, and the pattern will match this way and the other way. And so there'll be two pieces of paper either side of the arch, and the join will be in the middle, the point where it's least likely to be noticed, and then the pattern will flow down both sides of the arch. So that's how you do an arch. It is complicated, but it's well worth it, and the finished result is quite impressive. The final step is with a very sharp blade to cut the edge. Look at that crisp edge and beautiful pattern match